Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua, Bashem, Kakudah, Shalom to the 144,000, and the rest of the elect out there, Shalom to you all. Now I'm going to entitle this video. I had some titles in my head, but I'm going to entitle this video, The IUIC is teaching that the Apostle Paul had the mark of the beast. In a roundabout way. They're not saying it directly. They're not making a statement the Apostle Paul had the mark of the beast. But based upon the way they go into or break down the mark of the beast, the apostle, which is sin, the Apostle Paul had to have the mark of the beast. So let me just, this is a video that I did, and Apostle Ramlab did a video on this same live Saturday, which was headed by Bishop IUIC, which we remember him from the early 90s. Normally, General Nate teaches on that night. He didn't teach that night. And so you have Yahushua is coming back, which is the elder Kazakh out of the Mississippi. Formerly, he used to be a part of GMS Chicago. So he's out there in Mississippi. So he did a video. So it says, Deacon IUIC of the IUIC breaks down MOTB like Pat Robinson from CBN. And now Pat Robinson, when he called himself breaking it down, he said it's not the mark of the beast. But he did say they are going to actually come with a chip. If you can find that video. He said they are going to chip everybody, but that's not the mark of the beast. So watch how Bishop, we're going to see how General Nathaniel, General Nate, how is he going to explain it when they actually make it mandatory? We keep bringing this thing up. How is he going to explain it away? Or hopefully those zombies that follow him will wake up out of that zombie spell, because they're under a zombie spell. And that includes Bishop Kenai. He's a special kind of evil. And what's this guy? Bishop IUIC. Because IUIC, you need to wake the fuck up, man. You came in around about the same time as Bishop Nate, and all of a sudden he's your Lord and Master. You don't have your own mind. And I'm going to say this before I let this video play. If all the One Westers taught the same thing, that the mark of the beast is a microchip, every other camp would be teaching the same thing. That's what they do. So they're all parrots and toads. Parrots and or toads. So let's listen.
We have to be mindful of. Okay, read that again. Read a little faster too, Lee.
Yes, sir. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand.
Thou shalt bind these commandments upon the hand, meaning what you do. That's why I'm saying.
Now he's talking about the phylacteries in Deuteronomy chapter 6. The phylacteries were a physical thing made out of was a box out of leather, and it had the laws, meaning the laws was between the frontlets of your eyes, between your eyes, and also bound on your hand, meaning that represented, that symbolized, that was a symbol for you, accepting the laws in your mind and doing the laws with your hands, which has nothing to do with the MOTB.
Hand there. What you do. Go ahead.
And they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
And what's between your eyes? Your brain, your mind. So your mind got to be reflective of the commandments of the Most High in your thinking, and your hands is the action of you doing what your mind told you to do. If you ain't dealing with the Most High, you're going to think of sin, and you're going to commit sin with your hand. Understand the connection. That's how it works. We're going to read that.
You heard that. You're going to think it's sin. Let me bring that back. Bring that back a little bit.
In your thinking, and your hands is the action of you doing what your mind told you to do.
Which is sin. Which is sin. Okay, did not Paul do that? Did not Paul think with his mind to sin and committed sin. Romans chapter 7.
If you ain't dealing with the Most High, you're going to think of sin and you're going to commit sin with your hand.
But wait a minute. This is after Paul got knocked off the horse. So Paul was in his right mind. He was doing the will of the Father, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Before that, he was going in the wrong direction. He did what was called a 180-degree turn. And at first they didn't trust him. Then he wrote all those different books. So the Most High was, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai was definitely with him. So why did he take the mark? Why did he sin?
Understand the connection. That's how it works. We're going to read that. Where you at?
That was verse 8.
Read on.
And thou shalt write them upon the post of thy house and upon thy gates.
That's what these Jays call a mezuzah, which is a box. If you go to a certain house and you see a little box with like this, a Sarek written on it, that's a mezuzah. So you're supposed to physically put it on the front of your door, the doorpost. During the Passover, you were supposed to physically take blood from the lamb, and you're supposed to every house that followed the Passover, you were supposed to take blood from the lamb, and you're supposed to paint it over your door, the doorpost. So are they doing that? Oh, they'll tell you to keep the laws. Are they doing that when they have the Passover? Are they actually killing the lamb, taking a male lamb 1 year old without blemish and killing it on the 10th day, preparing it a few days before the Passover? No, they're not.
And it shall be when the Lord thy God shall have,
that was it. Read verse 9 again.
and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates.
So this is what the Most High told us to do when we came out of Egypt.
That's a physical thing. So everyone in IUIC have to have that mezuzah on their door. Everyone in the IUIC has to have phylacteries, in between the eyes and on the hand. That leather boxes is two like boxes. If you type in the word, go to Google, put in phylacteries, you'll see it. And you have small hats actually doing that.
The Most High wanted to make sure that we understood his commandments as opposed to the evils and the way of the Egyptians, because he had taken us out of Egypt at this point. Y'all all right? So he had to break away from that. That's what he's doing to us now. Okay, that's why the Bible says, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins. How are we partakers of Esau's sins, of this society's sins? By following the wicked.
Oh, so wait a minute. So Esau got his own sins and Moses got his own sins? It's talking about Esau's sins? No, that would be going against Esau. If Esau says it's all right to be a Mo and you're not a Mo, that means you a sinner. So wait a minute, man. Was not the Apostle Paul a Roman citizen? Did not he have Roman citizenship? So what does it mean that he sinned? He said if it's sin in all of its forms, whether it be religious or political. I guess political meaning the white man sins, and religious is the sin, the laws of the Most High. Did the Apostle Paul break the laws of the Most High after he was converted? The answer is yes.
By following the philosophy in our minds and doing wickedness.
So that's what Paul did. Paul was converted and he still did wickedness. So according to them, he had the mark of the beast.
That's the mark of the beast and don't even know it. You think it's
so the Apostle Paul had the mark of the beast. If you run into any of these IUIC guys, ask them, did the Apostle Paul have the mark of the beast? They may say yes. So how is the Apostle Paul going to be delivered because it said he's going to wind up in a lake of fire? Well, you can be forgiven no, you cannot. Once you take the MOTB, you can't be forgiven of that.
It's about somebody writing some 666 on your head and all that. Ain't got nothing to do with that at all.
We never said that. Ain't nobody going to stand there and write 666 on your head.
That 666 represent destruction. Because the number is in the Bible. That's Esau's number. That's his number. Read.
And cause.
Yeah, that's how he speaks. Talk about the passion of the Christ. And all of the actors look just like this thing here. Because that was an image of Caesar Borgia. That's not an accident. They can't get just a regular white man. They got to look a particular way to mimic Caesar Borgia. Look him up. Read.
That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not
I'm
worship.
going to say this about Yawasop and Bishop Kanai, that if they taught anything, if they said, you know what, the MOTB is a microchip, and the General Nate he should just call himself King. Just they say King Nate. King Nate. I like that ring. King Nate. Put a crown on your head. Because you did magnify yourself above these guys here. They're all three bishops. And now you the general and they bishops. You know, they keep the church clean. But if they were to teach that, I don't know, the Spirit came to me in a vision and looking at it and, GMS is right, man. The MOTB is a micro C-hip, man. Guess what? They will be out of the school. Guaranteed. They will be out of the school. Guaranteed. So Yawasop knows that. Yawasop would never cross the path of the great Nate.
Worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Meaning, if you don't worship the white man Jesus, they say you're going to hell. That's what they tell you in your dope houses called Christian churches. Read. What verse you in?
That was verse 15.
Read. Come on.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
That's what I was talking about earlier. In their right hand and in their forehead. Meaning to do sin and think sin. That's all it's.
That's what Paul did. To do sin and think sin. Like Geraldine said, the devil made me do it. Well, that's what Paul said. He blamed it on the devil. So it was not me that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. So did the Apostle Paul have the MOTB, the mark of the beast?
Talking about. Ain't talking about some microchip. That bull crap out of your
Why did he say it's a microchip? Because he's thinking about GMS. These guys lose sleep over us. This thing about the MOTB being a micro C-hip.
head. Ain't no microchip gonna make you sin. People stupid as hell. The white man puts a thought in your mind to make you think that sin is pleasurable.
So the white man, the Romans, put a thought in Apostle Paul's mind to make the sin be pleasurable when he committed the sin. So the Romans did that, right? Because he was a Roman citizen. Maybe he should have, gave up his Roman citizenship. Maybe he would have stopped sinning.
And you end up thinking it and you end up doing it. That's the mark being in your head and in your hand. Okay? So now, go to Ezekiel now.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. With that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next shalom.